First leg of the Triple Crowns in the books. Mystik Dan was winner of the Kentucky Derby yesterday with a thrilling photo finish between Sierra Leone and Forever Young. Very good race by all three contenders. Mystik Dan, one of the best rides probably seen in a long time, where Brian Hernandez took his horse and made that little narrow open up the rail. I think it was Track Phantom that he passed, but nonetheless, great win. But now we're on the next leg of Triple Crown. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. And we're going to look at the possible field for the Preakness. And so far, I think the big horse coming out is going to be Muth. Tuscan Gold looks like he's kind of on the fence for Chad Brown. He's running the Peter Pan, but we'll see how that goes. And then the Juan Stewart for Michael Maker. You got Copper Tax for Gary Capuano. Caesar Greg won the Pat Day Mile on the undercard, and Dwayne Lucas said if you watch the interview talking about there's a very good chance he'll come back off 2 weeks of rest. I think it'd be an interesting horse depending what he ran in the Pat Day Mile. We'll see how the speed figures come back and see if he can be a contender. And, of course, Informed Patriot with Steve Asmussen. And, one of the big stories is Mystik Dan going to run in the Preakness? And right now it looks like it's kind of 50-50 talking to connections. I would personally hate to see Mystik Dan not run, as I think it's just a tradition that should be honored where, the Derby winner needs to run back in the Preakness and kind of defend that Triple Crown. Is so much of the sport is kind of based on this 5 weeks of the season. And, to not have your Derby winner run back for a possible Triple Crown is just, to me, it's a little bit of a disgrace. But on the other hand, I can understand it for, what's best for the horse. It's a little bit rough running it back in 2 weeks, but, it's been tradition for so long. So either they need to look at, the scheduling for the Triple Crown and potentially change it, or, do something to incentivize the horses wanting to come back and run at the Preakness. And, I think the Derby and the Belmont are pretty good preps. There's not too much needs to be done to them, but the Preakness, something's got to give there. In the last few years has not been too great. But, there's been some horses confirmed not going to the Preakness. Fierceness, he's going to ship up to Saratoga next week, according to his connections. Very disappointing effort in the Kentucky Derby. Watching the replay, it seemed like everything, you couldn't really bring the trip chaw. I mean, he did have a little bit of a bobble at the start, but that should be enough to cause an effort like this, in my opinion. So we'll see what Fierceness shows up next time. And then Stronghold, they're shipping him back out to California at some point in the next week, is what Phil D'Amato said. And then Catalytic number 19th, Sappy Joseph said he'll go back to Florida. And of course, Grandmo the first, he's scheduled to return to Gulfstream on Monday, so he's not moving on. And then later on in the day, it came out where Sierra Leone's going to be pointed for the Belmont, and I would imagine he's going to be a heavy, strong contender in the Belmont. Seeing as he was definitely closing fast at the wire, and if it had been probably another foot, he'd have won that race. So I can't wait to see the Belmont this year. It's not ran at the normal mile and a half. It's going to be ran at a mile and a quarter at Saratoga. So we'll see if different patterns and stuff. We'll get that when that time comes. But that's it so far. Looking like maybe a battle between Mystik Dan and Muth, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.